Great. Thank you so much, Tom, and thank you to everyone who's joining us right now. My name is Tori Pilbin. I'm the Director of Alumni Relations here at Endicott College. Unfortunately, we can't be all at Endicott College right now, so welcome to my kitchen. I'm up in Gloucester right now, and we are really excited to have all of you here celebrating our first ever homecoming and family weekend at home. So we're really excited to have all of the deans here with us, as well as our new academic provost. So I'm very excited to have everyone here for this session. Hopefully you are going to learn a lot about what's going on currently at Endicott College within all the different academic areas and what is coming. So with that, I am going to hand it directly off to our new academic provost, Beth Schwartz, who started with us earlier this summer. Beth?
Great, thank you, Tori, and welcome everyone to our virtual homecoming. And for the next hour, what we love to be able to do is present to you all of the great educational opportunities that we have to offer here at Endicott. As Tori pointed out, I recently joined Endicott back at the beginning of the summer in June, following about 30 years in higher education and in academic affairs, but it's a fabulous place to be. And I have an incredible team of deans who I've been able to work with since my arrival, and who I get to continue to work with to really identify the kinds of academic opportunities that we want to start to build and continue to strengthen. So I don't want to take up too much time because I know they have a lot to share. And what I thought would be the easiest thing to do is I'll introduce one dean and then give him or her the opportunity to talk a little bit, just for about maybe 5 minutes or so we can give everyone who's part of this call a chance to ask us some questions. So I'm going to start with Jean Wang. Dr. Wang is our Dean of Arts and Sciences.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. What I'm going to do is just kind of give you a brief highlight of something that's happening in each division or something new. So we're going to start with the humanities. Last year, they got a grant for over $100,000 from the National Endowment for the Humanities to host a 3-week seminar on the Salem witch trials. And the seminar is targeted towards high school teachers. And last year we were going to do it. We had over 100 applicants from across the country, but we deferred it to COVID. So we're hoping to run it again this summer. And so it'll be a great opportunity for people to come here and be really close to where the Salem witch trials occurred and learn a lot of the history and other things behind it. So we aren't alone. This is a national grant. And so other institutions that have received National Endowment for the Humanities Awards includes Tufts, Harvard, Amherst, Boston University, etc. In the social sciences, we have a new person joining us, Dr. William Pruitt. As the chair of criminal justice and security studies. He held a similar position at Virginia Wesleyan University before moving to Massachusetts. And he'll bring a great global aspect to the criminal justice program. He has expertise in a number of international areas, specifically in genocide studies. So we're really happy that our students will get an opportunity to get more global perspectives in the areas of criminal justice. In STEM, New England Biolabs, a global leader in the life sciences industry, established with us a satellite research facility on the 3rd floor of the Science Center in August. So very new. One of the employees of its facility is actually an Endicott alum. She interned with them. They liked her so much, they hired her. She worked at their Ipswich campus, and now she's actually back at Endicott on the 3rd floor again. So we're really excited to have her. And they're hosting 2 interns this semester at Endicott. So that's kind of really exciting for us and that partnership that's occurred. Some of you we have parents and students here in the labs may have noticed we've done a lot in order to ensure safety, and this is the same in labs. So the new normal is social distancing in the labs, and we're actually in the labs exposing students to what they'd be doing in industry, whether it be in healthcare or in labs. So protocols include lab coats, face masks, face shields, gloves, and we installed new plexiglass dividers as well between students to maintain that distance. So this is something they're going to get used to when they go out in there. If they're a nurse, they're going to be the exact same thing, fully gowned, gloves, mask, face mask. So we're getting all used to that right now. All right, thank you.
Thanks, Jean. Let's move on to Michael Page, who is our Dean of our School of Business.
Well, actually, good afternoon. We're past the morning. I'm going to give you some highlights what's going on in the School of Business, which has been very active. On the undergraduate side, we're pleased to announce the addition of a new degree program to the School of Business, which will be the Bachelor of Science in Healthcare Management. And this program has been a joint program we put together with Arts and Sciences and Nursing to help students really prepare themselves for a career in health management. And that adds the 7th degree to our degree program. So we have degrees in accounting, finance, international business, entrepreneurship, marketing and management, and now healthcare management. We've also added something new to our curriculum, and those of you who have freshman students are probably talking about our new business problem solving course, which we introduced for all of our students because they need to get much more adept in analytics. And we want to make sure that they're more comfortable with the world of numbers. It seems to be their future. We also introduced 2 new minors programs for people who aren't in the School of Business, who are interested in some business programs. So we have a minor in accounting and a minor in data analytics. This includes some other minors we also offer, which is economics, business administration. And for those students outside the School of Business who are interested in perhaps pursuing an MBA, we have a 6-course sequence pre-MBA track that allows our students to prepare for the 5th year on-campus MBA program. And students throughout the campus have used this. In fact, we had a nursing student, not that nursing students are very different, but she went right on to our MBA program, having taken advantage of this program. I should mention, and I'm really proud of this, in the time of COVID, everyone has been kind of disrupted all of our lives. And we had 110 seniors who were eligible to go out on internship this fall. And all of us were nervous about, with all the changes, how things would go. And I'm pleased to report that 80 of those 110 students have secured internships for the fall. A lot of them are remote, but they're working for companies. The other 30 students have deferred their internship until the spring when they feel like the market will be richer and they'll understand better what their options are. And by the way, speaking of internships, our students are very successful in securing internships. And without highlighting too many students, I have one accounting student who just finished his 4th internship. And the sequence of internships he's taken are just staggering. One is with Boston Consulting Group. One is with KPMG, accounting firm. One is with UMass Medical Center. And his 4th internship was with Montreal Alouettes, which is a football team in Canada. So he's an accounting major, so people should never say accounting people are boring. On the graduate side, we also have added a master's degree, an MS degree in healthcare management to be a companion to our bachelor's degree in healthcare management. And our graduate programs offer a 5th-year MBA, and again, that's available campus-wide. Also, an adult MBA program. People interested in completing an MBA, nights and weekends, part-time. We also have a master's in information technology. And these classes are delivered per the COVID situation, some in person, some online, and some just remote synchronous. The School of Business also houses the Angle Center for Entrepreneurship. And I'm just the host of the Angle Center because it's a campus-wide activity. And as part of that program, we have an entrepreneur in residence, which is someone we invite to spend a year on campus to essentially be accessible to students and swap stories and help them see if their business ideas are going to have legs. This year, we've changed this program and decided to have a number of entrepreneurs in residence. So rather than having one for a year, we're going to have entrepreneurs for 2-3 weeks or more, but short periods of time, so we can have a variety of people available to students. And this way, students will have essentially not only a wide variety of topics, they'll get a real diversity of opinion, and this will give everyone a wider exposure to the growing entrepreneurship program. The Angle Center will also sponsor something called the Spark Tank, which will be on November 16th. This is our version of the Shark Tank. And each year we give out award money to students, seed money for their ideas. This year we'll be giving out about $15,000 in seed money to the best student ideas for them to pursue the next step in the development of their company. And by the way, this was done through a generous grant of $300,000 from the Cummings Foundation, as well as some money from TD Bank. The last thing I'd like to mention, because oftentimes we don't talk much about our faculty, at least highlight them. Dr. Anna McAllister, who is one of our marketing professors, also an Australian, has just published a paper called Consumption of Fruits, Vegetables, and Nuts Can Be Increased When Multitasking with Screen Devices. So in other words, you can get your son and daughter to eat the right food, even though they're playing with their iPad. In any case, this has been reviewed and will be published in the Health Communication magazine, which is a prestigious magazine. To be fair, this was co-authored with a professor from Michigan State University. So that's all I'm going to report right now, and we'll be open for questions at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Dean Page. I appreciate all those details. Let's move on to our School of Nursing and Dr. Nancy Meadsden, who will give us details for the School of Nursing.
Sorry about that. Hello, thank you, Dr. Schwartz. Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm actually on campus today, and it looks a lot like the first picture when you first came on. It's absolutely beautiful here today. So starting a little bit with the numbers, we currently have 413 students in our undergraduate program and about 120 students in our graduate program. We're doing really well with our licensure pass rates, 92% on target right now for the class of 2020, might be higher than that. And, you know, we continue with high retention and graduation rates in the 94%. Our survey from our 2019 graduates showed that 100% are employed or attending graduate school. We are up for an accreditation visit with the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education the end of October, and we're really excited about this because this really moves our school into a group of colleges that are accredited by this prestigious organization. It's considered the gold standard for schools of nursing with graduate and doctoral programs. So also in our graduate program, our family nurse practitioner program is doing quite well with 85% pass rate, well above the national average, and they just rolled out a brand new curriculum in the FNP program. We also have a lot of undergraduate students who are opting into the 5th year master's program, and the family nurse practitioner track seems to be a real popular track for them. Our Ph.D. in nursing program currently has 20 students. We just started a cohort of 8, which is great this fall, and we're recruiting some world-renowned nurse researchers as faculty in that program, so it's all growing. A little bit about COVID and its impact on the nursing program. We've been able to place all of our undergraduate students in clinical and internship placements amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. This summer even, we were able to place 48 students in internship. We've basically been able to do this because our clinical, you know, the hospitals that we place our students in require 6 students per site with 1 faculty, usually, and now they're down to 3 students per site with a faculty member. The college has, other colleges have gone completely remote for clinical because of this, but our students are continuing on uninterrupted in their nursing preparation because our college has supported us in continuing to provide the in-person clinical experiences. So we feel our students will be very well prepared for their careers. Some new initiatives, we just completed a renovation of the state-of-the-art simulation lab and the purchase of over $200,000 worth of new equipment, including high-fidelity simulators. So this new space, it was actually a lab that we had, but it wasn't really used or organized well. So it's now 2 hospital rooms, 2 debrief rooms, and 2 control rooms. So we can run 2 different courses doing simulation at the same time. And we use this space for students from freshman year all the way through senior year. In January of 2020, we also opened a brand new 5-room primary care suite. Unfortunately, the students didn't get to use it too much because we were gone in March, but this area allows our undergraduate students, including our freshmen and our nurse practitioner students, to practice health assessment skills in a realistic state-of-the-art lab. We also use this multi-purpose space. We kind of pull out the exam tables and we move in a couch and some kitchen furniture and we simulate an apartment for an elderly client. So it's a multi-purpose space that we use. On the graduate side, we've developed a collaboration with Boston Medical Center, and we offer our master's program on site at their facility in downtown Boston. It's an exciting adventure. Boston Medical Center employs 1,500 nurses, so it's an opportunity for them to go on and in an easier way get their master's degree with classes on site. We also have affiliations with Beth Israel Lahey Health and Lawrence General. We've had those ongoing for many years. And then exciting new programs, we have our senior leadership class actually just came up with a mentoring program for our freshman nursing students. We're going to roll it out this Wednesday. So if anyone's on who has a freshman student, mum's the word. We're going to roll it out on Wednesday night to the freshmen. But the seniors, I thought this was great. The senior class recognized the challenges of entering college during COVID-19, and they really want to assist their younger classmates in navigating through those challenges. We're offering another track in our baccalaureate program, hopefully starting in January 2022. It's called the Accelerated BSN track. So this is a program for students with a bachelor's degree in any major who decide that they would like to be a nurse. So they can enter this 15-month BSN program, and it culminates in their ability to sit for the licensure exam. And then lastly, we're proud to offer a second doctoral program that's still through the phases of going through the phases of approval, hopefully to start in September 22, and it's called the Doctor of Nursing Practice. It's a practice doctorate for the nursing profession, and we anticipate this to be the entry level for nurse practitioners in 2025. So those are the updates from the School of Nursing. It's been a pleasure, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you, Nancy. Let's move on to Todd Komen, who's our Dean of Hospitality Management.
Thank you, Dr. Schwartz. Good morning, or good afternoon, actually, and welcome to the School of Hospitality Management. We learn to imagine, shape, and manage meaningful experiences. And we do so in the very first semester of our experience here at Endicott College in Mistlewood Manor, which is, as you can see, the background of my virtual background here. And in La Chanterelle, our students learn to build communication skills, they develop teamwork skills, they build self-confidence because they're working with the public, they're preparing the meals in the culinary arts management course, they're delivering great guest service in our service management course, and this is the foundation of hospitality management. It's about how you deliver the experience, how you imagine, shape, and manage it for the guests so that it's meaningful and memorable. We have a new concentration, which is very exciting, food and beverage entrepreneurship. And within this new concentration, students who are interested in, for example, starting their own specialty food business, or those students interested in the nonprofit hunger and food security sector, would also be interested in food and beverage entrepreneurship. The new courses that we're developing for this concentration include the Alchemy of Baking, which will eventually be a science and technology gen ed course. We've got global food trends, issues and opportunities for entrepreneurs. This is a fantastic course that we delivered last semester in the spring. I co-taught it with Professor Abibi, so he brought the global perspective from his background in law and hunger and relief from Ethiopia, and we combine that with the local food trends and local food studies. So very interesting developments in the School of Hospitality Management. One of the things I really wanted to share with you today is a story about one of our students who was out on an internship this summer. And as you know, the hospitality industry has been hit very hard by COVID-19. But our students are all so excited about this industry. And last week, deans as well as full-time faculty were meeting with their advisees who had been out on internship this summer to discuss their learning experiences, to discuss their reflective essays, and to learn more about the hopes and dreams of our students. So I'd like to just share briefly the writing of one of our students who was in her sophomore year this past summer. Now she's a junior. And she came in as a first-generation college student, was awarded a generous Marriott scholarship from the Marriott Foundation, and now she's thriving in the School of Hospitality Management and indeed at Endicott College. So this student did her internship at Bay Point Waterfront Restaurant in Quincy, Mass, which is a very famous waterfront restaurant known for its baked stuffed lobster. That sounds pretty delicious, seeing as we're at lunchtime. And I'm going to read a little bit from her essay, if you don't mind. This eatery is praised by food critics such as the Phantom Gourmet and South Shore Living. 70 hardworking employees strive to provide excellent service and amazing food. Interning at Bay Point this summer during coronavirus offered me a unique industry experience that I will never forget. Being an intern at this restaurant during such a difficult time for the hospitality industry really showed me so much more of the industry and made me even more passionate about my future career in hospitality. This is amazing because so many people are saying, hospitality, why would you go into that? And our students are saying, bring it on. We love hospitality and people will travel. They will go out to dinner and things will come back. There will be opportunities. But listen to this. Watching management and employees join in unity to reopen the restaurant safely for themselves and the guests made me feel so honored to be a part of such monumental changes in the restaurant business. To be a part of something never before done was quite scary, but also very humbling. I learned so much from watching management make tough decisions, work hard to reopen the restaurant following CDC guidelines and the mask governor's precautions, and also continue to ensure great guest service and safety for all employees and guests after reopening. While interning at Bay Point, I really felt as though I stepped out of my shell as an employee and came forward as a leader. I became more confident in making decisions in regards to guest needs and floor planning, whereas in hostessing positions before, I relied heavily on reassurance from my managers and on my decisions. My confidence in leadership competency became very apparent to my co-hostesses, and many of them turned to me when it came to on-the-spot decision-making and handling guest inquiries and complaints. With this new faith in my leadership skills, I was able to become a better employee to management as they could trust me to run the front of the house when they were called to manage difficult situations. In past internships, I have been told that I needed to take more initiative in leading and decision-making, and I feel this skill came full circle for me while at Bay Point. Another skill that I feel I improved on and one that I used often was critical thinking and problem solving. Working at a restaurant during a time where there were so many unknowns and so many decisions that I have never had to make before forced me to have to think faster and smarter. When making such choices, I had to consider the safety of employees and guests, consider the possible issues that could come up, and I had to decide on these solutions very quickly because I didn't have time to worry about the outcomes. I just had to use my best judgment. I had to get creative and candid with my solutions in order to satisfy guests and my employers. Working in this environment really forced me to step out of my comfort zone, and for that, I feel that I excelled at my internship. So this is just one example of so many hundreds of internships that occur across the college at Endicott. And this one happened to be a student in the School of Hospitality Management who you can feel her growing, maturing, and applying her classroom experiences, the non-traditional experiences in places like La Chantrelle and the Weiling and Conference Center that we provide, and the liberal arts in her critical thinking and decision-making skills. And with that, I thank you for listening and hope you have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Todd. A great example of the impact of our internship and the unique opportunity that our series of internships provides for students that we believe is distinctive about Endicott College. Let's move on to Dean Deb Swanton, who is the Dean of Exercise and Sports Science.
Well, thank you, Beth. Welcome, everyone. I'm very excited to be here today, and I want to say Endicott is such a vibrant place. I'm starting my 28th year here, and there's a buzz in the Post Center. We're doing a lot of exciting and interesting things with our students, and I think that's the best part of my job. So let me tell a little bit about what's happening. So with athletic training, the students have really started well. Our pass rates are well above the national average with a 3-year aggregate of about 94%. and the national average is about 75 to 80% on a given year. So we have a strong reputation for athletic training. We're very proud of our students. We started our first cohort this year for the 3+2 program in athletic training, where students can earn a Bachelor of Science in Exercise Science and a Master of Science in Athletic Training within 5 years of study. So that profession is moving forward, and the only entry point into the profession will be at the master's degree level. So we will have a very strong program there. Our students, all of our majors have clubs and organizations. So they've been meeting, and our students in athletic training will be attending the American College of Sports Medicine Conference, and that's in Providence, Rhode Island, and also the Eastern Athletic Trainers Association Conference in January. And one of our faculty will be presenting at that conference on mental health and wellness. It's important for our students to add value to their resume and attend these events, to network and get to know their peers and participate in quiz bowls and really develop a passion for what's exciting out there in current events within their profession. With the exercise science major, students are preparing for the CSCS exam, which is a certified strength and conditioning exam. So we're having extra sessions for that. They're also starting a journal club. And what's new and exciting for us is one of our students is actually presenting this year in the Shape America Eastern District Virtual Student Leadership Conference, and that's in October. And she's presenting her work on a project looking at levels of physical literacy in college-age students. And this is the first time that we've had a student present at this event, so we're very excited. The Sport Management Club is off and running as well. They did have their elections, and they'll be attending a number of events this year. One of them is the Aspiring Athletic Directors Conference, and that's actually put on by our Sport Leadership Program. And a lot of our alumni will be participating in that. One of them is Jamison Pelkey, the Athletic Director at St. Jonathan's Prep. But that is another great point that we bring to the table this year for sports science and fitness studies, is that the Sport Leadership Program is under the School of Sports Science now, and we are using that platform to do a lot of extra events for students, both at the graduate and undergraduate level. We do have the 5th year master's degree program in sport leadership. Our students also go in and get their 5th year MBA, but just working together, we're very excited to just have a lot of events that are open to both graduate and undergraduate students. Another conference is the Women Leaders in College Sports Conference in October. Also the Sports Business Journal 2020 Game Changers Conference, and then the eSport Business Summit, all events in October. So all these opportunities exist for our students, and our faculty participate in those as well. I'd like to highlight 2 faculty accomplishments. One of our faculty, Dr. Dina Gentili, has been with us for about 24 years now, and she has written 3 books, but her latest book that she's in the midst of writing now is on eSport management. And we've just started that minor in eSport management last year. It's very popular. It's a global industry. It really complements our program. And Dr. Gentili is a leader in that field. And then we have Professor Dr. Katie Kilty, who just presented with Olympic swimming gold medalist Samantha Livingstone to the American Swimming Coaches Association on athletic mental health and well-being. And with that, we're looking to add a mental health first aid certification. Dr. Kilty is very well versed in that, and that's a new certification that our students could get. So welcome to Endicott, welcome to this day. It is beautiful on campus, I'm sure, Nancy, and we're very happy to be back and running. Thank you.
Thanks, Dean Swanton. Great pieces of information to share. Let's move on to Dean Mark Towner, who's our Dean of our Visual and Performing Arts.
Hello, and thanks for the invitation to be here with you today. I offer warm greetings from all of us in the School of Visual and Performing Arts. And while this pandemic certainly challenged us in the arts beyond any measures, it has not deterred us for one bit. Creative minds are driven to construct, imagine, and produce, and lately, to troubleshoot. Although always a state-of-the-art facility with high-end software and hardware, the students and staff alike have all become far more technically adept. Those of you who had the opportunity to attend our annual senior thesis presentations last spring know the quality of the work of those students was not compromised. They reached new heights. Those presentations are available online in our gallery, So along with our other exhibitions, that's one of the positives that has come out. We have virtual galleries located at artendicott.com. The performing arts, also difficult to deliver in a pandemic, continues to thrive, albeit more spread out than previously. We have many outdoor rehearsal spaces that are live streaming our concerts. Some of you probably saw our dance program last night, and tonight we'll have our music and theater program. The fall main stage, always a huge production for our students, involving anywhere from 100 to 200 individuals, is Polaroid Stories by Naomi Lizuka. It's been cast and is in rehearsal. It's a contemporary and provocative work, and it's in collaboration with some of the students and faculty from the School of Communication and the School of Visual and Performing Arts. Like the other schools and the students, internships were delayed for some students until the fall, until the winter, until next spring. However, many wonderful internships are going on or did go on at the International Aris Corporation, Baxter Construction, Griffin Museum of Photography, Winter Street Architects, Yokohama Museum in Japan, Kingfish Media, North Shore Magazine, many schools. That's just a few. The college did create several strategies to facilitate these internships or to move them forward to another semester and replace them with additional courses in the major or for the electives. In the arts, we did this by creating 2 additional courses in photography and delivering many directed studies for students who were out of sequence because of the internship movement. And just a side note here, it's important for us to recognize that study abroad options are still happening. We have 2 of the most wonderful institutions, Florence University of the Arts and Cork Institute of Technology in Ireland. They're both open for business this spring. Let's see, in addition to reacting to the challenges of the pandemic, our school recently completed several new initiatives. Like the other graduate programs on campus, we recently brought our Master of Arts in Interior Architecture out of the Van Loan School and into the art school. For us, this was natural and easy, as their courses and staff have always resided in the Center for the Arts. In that program, for this fall, it broke 2 records. More grad students in that program than ever before, and more of our own undergrads entering the 5th year MA option. This fall, we're hosting students in 2 new degree offerings that were approved last year, including our first class of architectural studies majors. This pre-professional degree is for those seeking to become an architect, landscape architect, urban designer, or building science professional. We also commenced with hosting the students in the new BS in photography, similar to the BFA program in photo, but contextualized in business and communications rather than the arts. And more recently, this summer, we were just approved to offer 2 additional degree programs, the BS in expressive arts therapy, and the BA in the performing arts. The expressive arts therapy program is for students who want to apply their interests and talents in a variety of disciplines for the health and well-being of others. The performing arts program provides for concentrations in music, theater, and dance. Several Endicott students are already changing their major to these new degree offerings. Other important news from the school includes, fortunately, we were reaccredited, not that there was any doubt, by this summer by the National Association of Schools of Art and Design. And last year, we added a new Steinway grand piano to our list of resources. This investment has been and continues to be a game changer for the music and performing arts at Endicott, and it puts it in a new light to keep us on track to become a Steinway school. And although every professor across campus needs to be recognized in some way or another, I'm going to mention a couple of here. Andy Brody has authored a new publication, Electronic Workflow for Interior Designers and Architects. Myung-Ju Chun received the IDEC Universal Design Scholarship and was selected as a panelist for the Diversity and Leadership Conference at the Harvard Faculty Club. Danielle Currier and Larry Volk will have the 3rd edition of their very popular book titled No Plastic Sleeves, and this 3rd edition is being released in a couple of weeks. Crystal Domain published an article on the inaugural International Endicott College Expressive Therapy Symposium. Huge success last year, and now she's, and Crystal was instrumental in bringing it to Endicott and to New England. Carol Pelletier is exhibiting currently at Cynthia Winning's Gallery in Maine and has additional coverage with the gallery representation in New Jersey. Finally, for my faculty, some recognition, Katie Clark and Becca Keneally were both selected as finalists in the highly prestigious American Prize for Musical Theater for the college's submission of Shrek the Musical, which we presented last year. I'd like to end now with a couple of bragging points of the recently surveyed alumni. 81% are employed, 32% are in graduate schools. This number exceeds 100 because oftentimes graduate students are also working. Some of the current employers of this recent alumni group include Apple, Gensler, and Gensler is just about what to architecture what Apple is to computers. Harvard, the Lego Group, New England Patriots, Puma, Universal Music Group, the largest label in the world, IBM, and the Walt Disney Company. Recent graduate school acceptances of our art and design alumni include Boston University, Hofstra, MIT, the Pratt Institute, San Francisco Art Institute, Savannah College of Art, and the School of the Art Institute of Chicago. As always, I am interested to hear directly from parents, students, and alumni, so please feel welcome to send me an email to initiate a conversation. Peace.
Thank you, Mark. Let's move on to the School of Communication, Dr. Laurel Hellerstein.
Hello, welcome everybody. Well, I'm happy to report that our semester has gotten off to a successful start with my faculty telling me that our students are very engaged. And in particular, the freshman class this year seems very, very strong, and everybody is really taking their coursework very seriously and putting a lot of effort into it. As a matter of fact, one of my faculty members reported that our Intro to Digital Film students turned in their very first projects this past week. So students are still getting the hands-on experience with the digital media students with our production equipment. In terms of internships, we did really well. There was only a couple students who did not secure internships this past semester, the full semester internships. And some of our students are actually going to their internships in person at their sites, and then a great deal of them are actually doing virtual internships. But what's been so wonderful about this is that partners that we've had in the past, such as Marlowe Marketing and Sir Sony Brown, who shifted online during the pandemic, have opened up ongoing opportunities for our students to work with them virtually as they have in person in the past. And one of the great things about going virtual with these full semester internships is that our students now have opportunities that they haven't had in the past. There are great companies that in the past, because of distance perhaps, or just because of their philosophy, weren't open to Endicott students. They've opened up, so our students are having these incredible experiences at sites that in the past they didn't have access to. Worth mentioning around the internship is our relationship with Gannett Media. And we have 2 students who are doing internships with Gannett this semester, and already into our 3rd week, they've published multiple articles in various North Shore publications such as Salem News, and Gannett owns a lot of different North Shore magazines and publications. I want to talk about some of our extracurriculars that are happening now, because we have gone full-blown forward with our extracurriculars that have always existed. If you would like, you can go to EndicottObserver.com and see articles that have been published this semester about happenings on the Endicott campus that students that work for the Observer, journalism students, although we have an English student. So those are available. That's publishing started the very first week of classes. We have started, right out of the chute, ECTV, Endicott College Television, and they started producing their weekly news show 3 weeks ago. And I don't know if you all knew this, but you can actually see ECTV, Endicott College Television, from the Endicott website. So you can either search on ECTV when you get on the website, or just when you click on endicott.edu, or when you type in endicott.edu, just throw that black backslash in there and type in ECTV, and it'll take you directly to Endicott College Television. Some of you may know that a lot of our marketing communication students participate in the agency, which is, it is what it is. It's an advertising agency. But what they've done this past several years is they have participated in NSAC, which is a national advertising, NSAC, what is it? It's an advertising competition. National Society of Advertising Competition? National, well, I'm mixing up the name, but at any rate, it's a national competition, and they participated in the regionals. And last year they came in second place, and their client was Adobe software. So they've already started working on this year's competition, and interestingly enough, the client this year is Tinder. Online dating goes mainstream, and it hits the college campuses. So I can't wait to see what they come up with for this year's competition. We're doing a lot of things virtually. We're in the process right now of planning a course, virtual, but an alumni panel, and we always do a live alumni panel every year, and this year we decided to move forward, but it will be virtual, and it's coming up. And then I also want to share with you, we have a communication council that formed last year, and it's made up entirely of communication students, and it's fully driven by communication students. So it's their ideas, it's their fun, it's their activities, it's what they're choosing to do to further their time on campus, as well as prepare for their professional careers. And next week, on Friday, they're bringing Nicole Peony, who is an actress and a screenwriter, virtually to campus. And the Communication Council is doing this in conjunction with the Film Council. And Nicole will be talking with our students about their careers and discussing her own career. And I'm sure that going forward in the future, the Communication Council is going to be offering a lot of these types of virtual events with people that, quite frankly, in a different world, a non-pandemic world, we probably have difficulty bringing to campus, but luckily we can do that virtually now. So those are some of the things that are going on at the School of Communication in the first 3.5 weeks of classes. Thank you.
Thank you, Laurel. And now we'll move on to the School of Education and Dean Sarah Quay.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Family Weekend and Homecoming. I am thrilled to share the news from the School of Education as we embark on a global reimagining of what education is and can be. We have 35 student teachers out in the field this fall at the undergraduate level. They are in person fully, they are remote, they are hybrid, they are doing everything that the public school teachers are doing, and really providing essential supports more than ever before around technology, around supporting student learning, around small group instruction. This was not what they expected student teaching to be like, but they have embraced it wholeheartedly, and boy, are they making an impact. So I'm pleased to share that news. Our School of Education students get up to 6 field experiences, and we've also been able to provide amazing opportunities for the sophomores and the juniors in a remote format, and with some new districts this year. So our literacy students are partnering with the Lynn Public Schools to provide individual and small group coaching around reading and writing for young learners. Our students in the SEI course, which is Sheltered English Immersion, are partnering with the Boston Public Schools to work with ELL students, which is an amazing new partnership with a really leading district in the state of Massachusetts. And our pre-practicum students are working with the Arlington Public Schools. So 3 brand new partnerships that have resulted from being remote and really started to expand Endicott's presence into some of the wonderful districts and school buildings in the area. We've also adopted a virtual reality program called Immersion, and that is giving our students the chance to practice their classroom management skills, one of the hardest skills to learn as a teacher, whether you're in K-12 or higher education. And this program allows students to be in their Endicott classroom with their professor and to interact with live avatars through the screen and practice classroom management. It's pretty cool and a lot of fun, and the students are really building their skills starting sophomore year. So kind of trying to keep us cutting edge in terms of technology and also help our students really be the best teachers that they can be. In terms of our graduate programs, our Endicott Fellows program, which is a program where students work in a district for the full academic year and receive their master's program free of charge, is the largest cohort ever at 48 students. Again, engaging in this reimagining of education along with classroom teachers and school leaders. We also have 11 doctoral students who will be working through their dissertations and defending over the course of this year. We've have several new certificates approved in the graduate programs, one in international education, one in social justice education. We have one coming before the board for approval on online teaching and learning, because I don't think that the lessons learned from COVID will disappear from the field of education, and we want to really, really help teachers in the K-12 and higher ed world really engage with this new approach to teaching and learning that we're all part of. The job market, I would say, in Massachusetts at least, has never been better. We have gulls hiring gulls. We get emails. They're slowing down now because school has started, but the past month we've been getting emails almost every day from alums and from principals saying, please, we're looking for teachers. We have 100% job placement rate for the class of 2020. So they are very happy and doing great. And I think I'll just wrap up with sharing one piece of news from our faculty, and that is that our own Professor Luke Reynolds, has a terrific book coming out in October called Even More Fantastic Failures, True Stories of People Who Changed the World by Falling Down First. So it's the second in a series. He's a prolific author of children and young adult fiction. So take a look at that on Amazon and reach out with any questions. It's great to see everyone and to be back in person with all of our students. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. And finally, we have Dr. Laura Douglas, who's with us to tell us a little bit about the Van Loan School of Professional Studies.
Hello and welcome. Thank you for having me. As you may know, the Van Loan School of Professional Studies are adult education and degree completion program, which really highlights Endicott College's commitment to lifelong learning. So we have several new initiatives. The Keys to Degrees program, which is the single parent program, has been transferred over to the Van Loan School. And we recently received a grant from the Mosley Foundation in order to continue this important work. We have 45 single parents at the Van Loan School of Professional Studies. So this is an area of growth and expertise that we are really honing in on. We have expanded our offerings to offer international travel courses for the adult learner. This is new for us. We've done a trip to Madrid. This year, we are confident we are going to Ireland in the summer. We created a course called Ireland Art, History, and Culture. And that course is going to be led by Dr. Samuel Alexander, who is one of the faculty at Endicott who has expertise in Irish literature. And this class is open to alumni as well as to our current adult students. So I just encourage you, if you're parents and you're dying to see the world through an education lens, reach out. We are also focusing this year due to COVID on really bolstering our small business management concentration. As you probably know, Massachusetts has one of the highest unemployment rates right now due to COVID. And we created this concentration with Dr. Deidre Sartorelli from the Angle Entrepreneurship Center. And we've been reaching out to different workforce development agencies to really take the lead in getting Massachusetts residents impacted by COVID back to work. And that's our really strong initiative of ours this year. And also, since this is homecoming, would like to just say we have started a new campaign called Return to the Flock Alumni Campaign. And one of the things that we are working on is getting our associate students who graduated in the late 70s and the 80s to return to Endicott College and complete their degree. And we have one of our alumni who graduated in '88, Nikki McQueen. She graduated from Endicott College with an associate's degree, moved to Florida, and became the VP of one of the largest funeral homes in Florida. She co-authored a book called Lessons from the Dead on customer service and maintained her connection with Endicott College through all these years. And then recently decided to achieve her lifelong dream of completing her bachelor's degree. So she came to the Van Loon School of Professional Studies. She is finished with prior learning assessment, receiving 30 credits towards her degree from her training and experience that she's had since she left Endicott College. And she is now engaged in her senior thesis project and will be graduating this year. And this is really, I think, a hallmark. I want to end with this story about Nikki because I think it's one of the things that we can really see at Endicott is that once you're a student here, you really have a community for life. And we want to hear from students far after they graduate, and we stick with you to help you achieve your lifelong dreams. And that's really a hallmark of Endicott College. So that's a small sampling of what's new in the Van Loon School, and thank you very much for an opportunity to speak with you.
Thanks, Laura. I will say thank you to all the deans who've presented to us today. It's hard in an hour to tell you about all of the wonderful opportunities that our students have to talk about the high quality education and connected to that, the wonderful faculty and the experiences that they bring to the classroom and outside the classroom for our students. But I hope in this hour that you really got a good sense of the fact that the quality of the education is there, the continual review of what we have to offer doesn't stop, and the opportunities for our students are phenomenal. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Tori to see if there are any questions that are out there with the small remaining time that we have.
Great. Thank you so much, Beth. And thank you to all the deans, as Beth mentioned. This has been a really, really helpful hour, I hope, for everyone who's joined us. There is a Q&A feature as a part of this webinar. So for any of our participants, if you do have a question that you'd like to ask either an individual dean or the group, we can take those right now. That should be down at the bottom of your screen. You can type that in and we should be able to see that. We have just about 5 minutes left of our session. I know that we have a number of you scheduled to go to our Career Center chat, which will start right at 1:30. So if any questions are around, please let us know. Those should be coming in. And if not, then that is totally fine. And we hope that you all have a really wonderful rest of your day and weekend celebrating with us from home. Okay. I don't think that I'm seeing any questions. We'll let that be open just for a few more minutes, just to make sure that we're not missing anyone if you're thinking of your questions right now. But we really thank you all for participating with us. Thank you again to, you might have seen her up here on the panelists as well, Molly Buckley, and she's the Assistant Director of Student Affairs, and she helped me come up with this weekend virtually, and the support from everyone around campus to really come together and make this a special weekend still for our alumni, our students, our families who are joining us for a number of different activities. So we thank all of you as well. Great. Oh, we have one question that might be coming in. Awesome. We do have one question that was not related to any of the deans specifically, just about the recording. So as you all came in, it did mention that this was recorded. We are recording a number of other sessions throughout the weekend as well. We're hoping to work with our communication team next week to get all of them downloaded and edited and up on the website. And what we'll be doing is we'll make an announcement on social media, of course, and we'll be sending an email out to everyone who registered for the weekend so that they can see anything that they missed, or if they just want to rewatch a session that they really, really enjoyed. So that will be available, and we'll definitely let you all know.